What's up guys, my name is Ace, and it's time to continue Maps Exposed. This is the series where I show a bunch of secret spots that you may or may not have been aware of on most, if not all, of the maps in Modern Warfare 3. We already covered a ton of great spots on Favela, now it's time to move into Karachi. And starting off in this spawn area right here, if you played the original Modern Warfare 2, this alley didn't really do anything for you. However, there's a change on this one. It allows you to actually escape your spawn this way, or push into the spawn from this direction. And I just wanted to point that out for any of you OG Modern Warfare 2 fans that haven't realized that yet, because it actually took me a little while to discover that because I just never bothered going over there because there was no reason to in the original Modern Warfare 2. Next, if you're trying to break out of this spawn area and you have somebody you know they're camping up there, but maybe they're not exposing themselves to attack you here, the only way to really get to them is using this ladder right here, which is not ideal because they'll just be waiting for you and pre-aiming. What you can do is jump up to this area right here, and that just equalizes your height advantage a little bit here. So you might be able to take them off guard in this situation, and it just gives you a different angle. Another thing I wanted to point out, if you're coming out of spawn in this area here and you expect somebody to be down in this area, you could of course just use this as cover. That's perfectly fine. However, an alternative, assuming this area is nice and safe, is you can jump directly up to this truck here and kind of head glitch over top, and that just gives you a bit of a height advantage over them as well. Next, these balconies, all 4 of these balconies here, you can access with pretty simple jump spots. I don't know really how useful these are going to be, but I just wanted to point out you can get up to these spots quite easily, in fact. So you can easily get into this area right here. This one, obviously, you can just jump in like this. And then for this next one, it's a little bit tricky. You just have to make sure you end up on the railing itself, and then you can just kind of walk yourself around, and you've got yourself on this balcony. After that, let's talk a little bit about this power position here. This one is very important on this map. The first thing I wanted to point out is if you want to easily get on top of this scaffolding, it may be kind of difficult because you're trying to mantle up onto this and then mantle again, which you can technically do. However, if you just aim for this pole specifically, you can just mantle directly up here with one single mantle, and then from here, you can easily just jump up like this, and now you got yourself up into this area. Next, when it comes to this building right here, I wanted to point out a little invisible ledge. This one can be very useful if you have somebody camping in the second floor of this building, because it takes you all the way around and you can just shoot them through these windows. They typically won't be expecting that. And it turns out this goes all the way around the entire building. So it doesn't matter which side you go on. You can come all the way around like this, and you can also use this to easily get up onto the balcony right here. So just a nice little alternative. Next, if you want to get up into that area there, instead of taking the stairs all the way around, there's often a claymore on there. What you can do is actually get to the rooftop of this building, but it's not quite as easy as it might seem. I thought you could just jump on the barrels like this and then jump your way up. Doesn't really work that well. But what you can do is if you're inside the building already, you can jump up to this area right here, stand up, and then you can just mantle your way onto the rooftop here. And then from here, you can easily jump across like this, which is just excellent to know. Obviously, from this direction, you can also jump back to the rooftop here, but that's not super useful. Another thing I wanted to point out is if you're coming from this direction and you want to get up to that area there, you can actually just straight jump right there up to this rooftop, and this will easily get you up to this area. This is an excellent route that I really like taking advantage of now. And then finally, for methods to get to that rooftop fairly easily, you can come to the back side of the building here where the stairs are, and you can mantle up like this. After that, something I wanted to point out, if you're up in this area right here, you can easily just jump down onto this awning right here and kind of use this to your advantage as enemies come out of spawn, and you can always just retreat back into this area right here. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any other method of jumping to that. I wish we could use some kind of a jump spot to get there, just as another alternative, but that doesn't work. Another thing that the OG Modern Warfare 2 guys probably already know about, but you newer players may not know, is this area right here. You can come into this building and use this. I haven't seen too many people use this yet in Modern Warfare 3. Next up, getting into this area right here. This is a line of sight I use very often. If you have enemies that are coming out of spawn or just coming out of that area right there, what you want to do is jump up right onto this ledge here, and that gives you a perfect little head glitch over here where you can pick them off. They almost never see this one coming. Next, if you want to get onto this second floor balcony or you want to get into the second floor area from this direction, you kind of have to go up to the ladder here and around, and that's perfectly fine, but that's often what they expect. Just as an alternative for you, you can mantle to the rooftop right here, and then from this, as long as you have a high mobility gun and you catch the jump just right, I kind of failed it there, you can actually jump right across here and just mantle up like that. Not always the most practical thing, but it is nice to know that you can at least do that. Now, rotating in toward the middle of the map, we have this little room up here, and you can actually access this in the original Modern Warfare 2, but we have multiple ways to get up there now. With this, the first way is to simply jump up to this balcony here. You could just use this balcony to defend the B flag if you're playing domination, or you can also use this to just walk yourself into this room right here. Alternatively, if you're in this area right here, you can actually just jump straight across and mantle your way in. And then finally, if you're on this rooftop right here, you can just jump across like this, and you've got yourself in this room once again. Now, if you want to get to this second floor area from this side of the map, it's very difficult, but doable. You do need a very high mobility gun or a knife in your hand, but you can mantle up to the bus like this, or you could just jump up from these areas right here. And then from here, what you want to be doing is aiming for this little pillar right here. You have to land on a little invisible ledge there, and this is the really tricky part. It's going to take several attempts. You might want to practice this a little bit to get it down, but once you end up getting it down, this is your one method of jumping across and getting into that balcony. I personally don't see myself using this too much in regular games, simply because it is a very difficult jump to hit consistently, but if you manage to nail it, that is a good spot to get up there. And then finally, this is a fairly obvious spot, but I just wanted to point it out for anybody that maybe hasn't picked up on this yet. If you're in the bottom floor right here, instead of taking the stairs, which is what they often expect, and they can be challenging you from like this side right here, watching your back, or they could be sitting at the top of the stairs right here, you kind of don't have a great way to approach this without having to clear 360 degrees, basically. Just an alternative is you can just come through the floor right here. Again, I'm sure most of you guys already knew about this, but I wanted to point it out for anybody that might not. And with that, that's going to wrap it up for today's spots on Karachi. I know I didn't have a ton on this one compared to something like Favela, but that's just due to the nature of the map. Favela had a lot more spots. I was really hoping I'd be able to find a few extra ones to get to some specific areas on this map, but unfortunately, I just couldn't make it happen. In general, though, we still got some great spots to use on this map, and this will definitely change how I approach things. And with that, this is where I want to hear from you guys in those comments down below. First off, did you guys know about all of these spots that I shared in the video, or were there any that are brand new to you? And second, which one of the maps would you like to see me cover next for this series? Keeping in mind, I have already covered Favela. If you enjoyed this video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.